here in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. And we welcome you whether you're in person or on Zoom with us. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty to start, so we're praying for divine order that clears up soon. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual path, you're always welcome at Unity. We are an inclusive community that welcomes and accepts all people. So we are also part of a greater worldwide unity movement. We are the publishers of the Daily Word magazine, and we've been holding 135 years of prayer vigil through Silent Unity, the prayer ministry of the Unity movement. So prayer is the heart and soul of unity. And we always provide a prayer chaplain right after service to pray with you. And is that Nancy? Are you on today? Yeah. Nancy is our prayer chaplain today. So she's available here in person. And she's also available by phone. If you want to give her a call in that first hour after service, she'll call you back if you don't reach her. And just take that opportunity to pray with someone. It's a really great experience. So thank you, Nancy. And I want to introduce our team today. We have Martha and Brandy, and Chris is pitching in to help for a minute here. And our worship assistant today is Howard Grenzel. And we're always glad to welcome back Bill Mann. So thank you, Bill. So are we good with lyrics? The sharing is working. Okay. So I invite you to stand for our opening song. Oh yeah, let's say it. Well, you've started to stand. Let's stand up. Let's do our vision and mission. And I have to look at the screen this way. All right, together, centered in prayer, we create
a world of love, harmony, and abundance.
And our mission is celebrating spirit, exploring truths, awakening hearts, inspiring dreams, serving community. And then those words at the bottom are those values, our core foundational beliefs here at Unity North. All right, and let's sing our opening song together.
I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things, shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things, that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. If you ask me who am I am wisdom, I am light. I am more than meets the eye, I cannot be defined. 'Cause I am the speaker who thinks a thought that changes things, to shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things, to shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I can choose to be the light, to brighten someone's darkest night. Whoops, I sang the wrong verse, so I'm going to go back and get that. If you ask me who am I am beauty, I am joy. I am more than meets the eye, cannot be defined. 'Cause I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things, to shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought changes things, to shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought have the power to change my life. I can choose to be the light that brightens someone's darkest night. I'm so much more than meets the eye, I cannot be defined. For I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things, to shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things to shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life.
Well, we're all awake after that wonderful song, Bill. Thank you very much. So we've been welcomed, and now it's time to, we've been welcomed as a whole, and so now we greet each other as individuals, recognizing that there's people here from all over the metro area, there's people online from different parts of the country and locally, and so greetings to everyone here online and in person. We are so glad you're here, and we are glad that we're all here. So we're all here. Here. And we are truly blessed, though, by each other's presence. And we are right here, right now. If there's anybody new visiting with in person today, if you'd like any questions answered or some information, see one of us after service, and we'll get those questions answered for you. And for those of you online, too, if you have any questions, you can enter your information in the chat, and they'll be kept confidential, sent to us, and we'll get back to you to get you what you're looking for. As Reverend Kathy mentioned, prayer is at the heart of unity. I've heard it said that prayer is the communicating to, and meditation is the communication from. I kind of like that. So let's begin our communication to. And we know we can pray with words, actions, thoughts, acts of service, and we can pray simply by breathing with intention. All are forms of prayer. So please join me now to begin our service in prayer. If you're comfortable, you may close your eyes, slow down your breathing, and become calm and still. If I'm feeling uncertain or conflicted, I take it as a sign to move my focus from the thoughts of my mind to the wisdom of my heart. So moving from our head to our heart, take another slow, deep, centering breath, breathing in with your entire body. As we inhale, feel the peace, love, and joy within. As we breathe out, gently release stress, worry, and doubt. From our heart, we offer prayers of gratitude for the simple things in life: clean drinking water, food, and shelter. We are grateful knowing our thoughts of peace will give us peace. Focusing on peace in ourselves, there will be peace in our communities. We offer prayers of hope, peace, and love for every home here in the United States and around the world. Confident in our prayers of gratitude, we see this as our only vision. We are grateful the light within ourselves provides the strength we need to treat everyone, regardless of their situation, opinion, actions, or stance. We have the strength to treat them with respect, patience, and tolerance. In doing so, we treat ourselves with respect, patience, and tolerance. We now release these prayers in silence. we are all healed and strong, healthy and whole in our body and in our soul. And we give thanks in advance for answered prayers, and we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Let us remain centered for today's daily word. Glory is the daily word for the second Sunday here in November. I am blessed to be part of the glory of God. I am a spiritual being, a glorious expression of God. As I live more fully into my divine nature, I am able to better recognize my unity with life. Looking around me, I see the beautiful diversity of humanity. I also appreciate the vast variety of creatures on earth. Whether of earth, sky, or water, all creatures are glorious components of the universe. I give thanks for each one. I turn my attention inward. The glory of God within me is an inner kingdom where beautiful and loving thoughts live. Kindness, warm memories, inspired motivation, and peace. As I bring my attention to the realm of my consciousness, I create within me a world of majesty, splendor, and wonder that I also find in the world around me. As I do, I discover the glory of God everywhere. From Psalms chapter 19, verse 1, the heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork. The daily word is glory.
I close my eyes, the feeling starts. Still my mind and open my heart, and spirit comes with its blessing, touching you, you, feet on the ground. I spread my wings, my heart takes flight. Creation sings with all Sing this with me. You. Just repeat that. One more time.
So I invite you now to sit back and close your eyes if you've not already. Uncross your arms and legs and find a comfortable position. And begin to relax your mind and body. As you take several deep breaths, feel that wave of relaxation move down from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet and back around. As you say to yourself, I am completely and fully relaxed. I now access my power of surrender. I relax, I let go, and I surrender to Spirit. A surfer harnesses the ocean's power to complete the exhilarating ride to shore. I too place myself within the divine wave of God's power. I neither move out in front of it by forcing my will, nor do I hold back out of fear and insecurity. I center myself in the wave and discern the action and direction I seek. I let go into the magnificent power of Spirit and ride the wave that is my inner guidance and direction. I turn over any fears or concerns. I let go of control. And I take a moment in the silence to feel Spirit moving in and through me and my life. I surrender in the silence. I now access my power of optimism, knowing Spirit is at work. I can let go and appreciate all that I have. I am filled with positive thoughts and energy. Temporary challenges or bumps in the road do not cause me lasting distress or concern. I know I can count on the Spirit of God within me to uplift and energize me in all that I do. My optimism is contagious as I am enlivened and invigorated. I am free to lay claim to infinite positive possibilities. My optimistic expectation moves me forward. My oneness with God is the spark of my inner joy. With positive enthusiasm, I silently declare, all is well in my life. Each day I persevere, staying in the flow of prosperity. And I say, thank you, God, for my many blessings of divine abundance. And so it is. Amen.
Where I'm standing on the edge, I am looking over the entire world. There below me, like a vision, the far horizon, like a flag unfurled. And in my mind I see this can be just what I want it to be. When I'm dreaming, I imagine sweet perfection drifting down on me. It fills my heart to overflowing like a river kissed by the sea. My dream is true. My life becomes whatever I choose. Every moment there is waiting right in front of me. That one chance in a lifetime, asking, will I take it? But which way to turn? Left or right? Which way darkness, which way light? Should I play it safe or risk the big mistake? I forge my life with every choice I make. When I finally stop resisting and walk away from all fear and doubt, and when my heart has fallen open and all my love has come tumbling out, I will be free to be just who I choose to be. There's an endless opportunity to sleep away. And every moment there is waiting right in front of me. That one chance in a lifetime, asking, will I take it? Which way to turn? Left or right? Which way darkness, which way light? Should I play it safe or risk the big mistake? I forge my life with every choice I make. I forge my life with every choice I make. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Well, the parents of two teenagers are very worried about their eyesight. The daughter can't find anything to wear in a whole closet full of clothes, and the son can't find anything to eat in a refrigerator full of food. Well, it said the only real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. With new eyes, we have the ability to perceive a true vision, our heart's desire. Dreams really do come true. And when we know in our heart that with God all things are possible, we set our dreams free. This is an important part of developing a prosperity consciousness. The lesson title today is In the Flow of Prosperity. Catherine Ponder, one of the great unity pioneers and teachers of prosperity, once said, "You are prosperous to the degree that you are experiencing peace, health, happiness, and plenty in your world." I would add to that, and to the degree you feel a sense of sufficiency and contentment. Being in the flow of prosperity means we wake up from the false dream of lack and limitation and fear that pervades our world, and we become aware that life is a gift and that abundance and possibility are eternally present. It reminds me of a humorous story. During a visit to a mental asylum, a visitor asked the director what the criterion was that determined whether or not a patient should be institutionalized. "Well," said the director, "we fill up a bathtub with water, then we offer the patient a teaspoon, a teacup, and a bucket, and we ask him or her to empty the bathtub." "Oh, I understand," said the visitor. "A normal person would use the bucket because it's largest." "No," said the director. "A normal person would pull the plug out of the drain. Would you like a bed near the window?" And if we are struggling with our health or money or any other part of our life, and we keep looking at what is, then the law of cause and effect keeps giving us what is. So we must keep looking at what is yet to be, our positive vision of what we want. Even if you have little time in your day to work on it, do not be discouraged. We know that one positive thought is thousands of times more powerful than a negative one. Beyond that basic premise of prosperity, surrender is such an important key because it means we let go of our problems and we turn them over to God, to Spirit. Whatever challenge we may have, when we let go and surrender to the divine, we feel God moving in to hold us. We feel the universe rushing in to support us. We realize that God provides all that we need. You may remember this one. One young man seemed to be able to surrender and trust in God's ability to provide. His fiancée brought him home to meet her parents. And after dinner, her father took the young man into his study with him for a little chat. "So what are your plans?" he began. "Well, I'm a theology student," said the young man. "Oh, that's admirable," said the father, but what will you do to provide for my daughter?" "Well, I will study and God will provide," said the young man. "And how will you afford to raise children?" "Well, God will provide," said the young man. After a bit, the man left the study and father went in to see his wife, and she asked, "Well, how did it go?" "Well, he has no money and he has no employment plans for the future," the father said. "But on the other hand, he thinks I'm God." So it's not always easy to trust that God will provide. Perhaps you are in that place where you feel like you are wandering in the wilderness. You may be struggling with your health or your relationships, maybe your finances, your work, or something else. You may be concerned about a loved one. Whatever our challenges are, they may require deeper surrender and a lot of faith and trust in God's will. Easy to say, but how do we do that? we do that by letting go. Surrender is letting go. And one aspect is letting go of attachment. And this does not mean we let go of our intention or dream, but we become detached from the outcome. Attachment is based on fear, insecurity, and lack consciousness. Detachment, with its uncertainty, is the fertile ground of pure creativity and freedom. It is stepping out into the unknown, into the field of all possibilities. So surrender does not mean giving up our power. It means letting go of our need to control. And that is the irony. Often we control for a sense of power, but true power is in surrender. I give up. As in lifting the issue up to God. I give up. I can't do it anymore, God. I give it to you. You take it. You tell me what to do. I release my fear and the need to control, and I surrender to Spirit. So I have a personal example of surrender. I remember a time when I was in a relationship that just was not working. I had done everything imaginable to make it work. And during the time, I kept having a recurring dream that I was cleaning a house all alone and needed help. I was having this dream night after night. Ultimately, I came to know that was the truth about the relationship. I was really doing it alone. So in desperation, I finally surrendered in prayer, and I said, God, help me. You know, God help me could be a great form of surrender. And then the answer came, and I knew I had to leave. And that night, in the recurring dream that I'd been having for months, there was a change. And in the dream, a landlord showed up and took the keys from me. And I said to him, well, some things may be broken. And he said, that's okay. I will handle it from here. And I woke up knowing that I had turned it over to God, the universe, and I would be guided in my actions and given the strength that I needed. And I was. But I still had to take the actions, and I did. But surrender was the key, because then it put God back into the equation. So I like to remember and speak surrender affirmations like, I let go and let God, or God is in charge, or there is only God, or thy will be done. Let go of old, worn-out thoughts, and in your physical world, let go of old clothes in your closet, old items that you are clinging tightly to. Let go, and the universe will come to fill the vacuum, and with that, which is even better. Surrender is our no power. We release, we let go, and we say no to control, to attachment, to that which we no longer need, and to the negative. We can create statements of release. People often forget this part and merely focus on affirmations. We have to be reminded sometimes. It's like pulling weeds in a garden. We must first clear the weeds away before we plant new seeds. So also we must clear away our fears and negativity with statements of spiritual denial or release, such as, this thought is powerless over me. I release it and let it go. Every time you become aware you're thinking a thought of fear or anxiety, speak your spiritual denial. It can be, this thought is powerless to take my good, or simply, cancel. Or I release, I let go, and I let God. Charles Fillmore said to do it gently, like sweeping cobwebs away. But do not limit it to one time. Keep saying it until you feel a conviction. And that brings us to our yes power, optimism. We are bombarded everywhere with negativity these days. Negative news, negative people, negative social media, and most of all, Many of us practice negative self-talk. Our minds are not always peaceful, positive places for us to be in. So it's essential we look for the positive everywhere we can. Write positive affirmations. Choose what to think rather than being passive in your thinking. Vincent van Gogh once said, "If you hear a voice within you saying you are not a painter, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced." Focus on what you want, not what you don't. What you focus on expands. True optimism is being able to see the circumstances around you and not letting them stop you. So in this way, you transmute negativity into positivity in your life. The ancient masters called this alchemy, turning lead into gold. And the lead is the negativity around you. And the gold is what happens when you either don't let the negative stop you, or even better, when you can see through the negativity to positive outcomes. So when you practice this mental alchemy, you might suffer a temporary defeat, but instead of letting it stop you, you choose to allow the experience to make you bolder, wiser, and more powerful. Here are a few great quotes. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm." Albert Hubbard said, "Positive anything is better than negative nothing." So it's essential we flood our life with positivity. Barbara Fredrickson wrote a book called Positivity. Top-notch research reveals the 3-to-1 ratio that will change your life. So she suggests that to have a well-balanced, flourishing life, we need a minimum of 3 positive emotional experiences for every negative one. The positive experiences need not be a big deal. It can be something as simple as going for a walk or appreciating a cup of tea with a friend. The important thing is that positive experiences occur regularly and are at least 3 times more frequent than negative experiences, or what she calls the 3-to-1 ratio. She writes, "A fascinating fact about people's positivity ratio is that they are subject to a tipping point. Below a certain ratio, people get pulled into a downward spiral fueled by negativity. Their behavior becomes painfully predictable, even rigid. They feel burdened at times, even lifeless. Yet above this same ratio, people seem to take off, drawn along an upward spiral, energized by positivity. Their behavior becomes less predictable and more creative. They grow, they feel uplifted and alive." Now, obviously, most of us are not going to start counting how many positive versus negative experiences we're having. But this is something to keep in mind when you know you're in a status quo or you're dragging. Add some positive experiences until you reach that tipping point. Here's some ideas from prosperity author Chris Gentry. He says, take a walk or do some form of exercise. Minimize your intake of political news, just enough to be informed. Create a playlist of positive songs you can listen to whenever you need a lift. Minimize the amount of time you spend with negative people. Spend more time with positive people. Offer compliments and smiles to as many people as you're able to each day. Read from inspirational books every day. Learn and practice meditation. Eat well. Sit up straight. Improve your sleep. Make decisions quickly. Surround yourself with beauty, with artwork, with flowers. Go to museums. Take a cooking or a painting class, garden, volunteer. Find a prayer partner. Make a gratitude list and add more to this list. Anyway, you get the idea. It's very simple and yet very profound. You can even begin by asking, what 3 positive things am I going to add to my life today? Then do them. Or even start with 1. It will make a difference. When we get ourselves centered in the universal flow, we become synchronized with it for good. Amazing things can and will unfold. So this process is beautifully symbolized in the Old Testament story of the widow who came to the prophet Elisha in distress. She had been left destitute by the death of her husband. Her creditors were pressing her. Her 2 sons, according to Talmudic law, were forfeit for her debt. She cried out to Elisha, "My husband is dead, and the creditor has come to take my sons." And Elisha asked, "What have you in the house?" She replied, "I have only 1 pot of oil." Metaphysically speaking, he was asking, where is your consciousness? What are you thinking about? Her reply indicated that despite the 1 pot of oil, she was possessed by fear and thus had cut herself off from the divine flow. She had a pot of oil, but to her it was only 1 pot. It was evidence of substance, but to her it was a symbol of lack. She was plagued with a very common problem of onlyness. I am only worth this much. Jesus went forth without money or assets, but he had faith. He had awareness of the whole of God's substance present wherever he might be. So whatever you have in your bank account or your house, don't let it be identified with an only. Let whatever you have be the symbol of the presence of unlimited possibilities. God's unlimited possibilities supersede that always, whether we're talking about finances or whether we're talking about health or anything. Now, Elisha instructed the widow to go to her neighbors and borrow additional vessels. And this suggests the need to expand the mind to include new faith and vision to try on some new insights for size. She did borrow additional vessels, which meant she broadened her horizon of expectations. She poured the oil from her 1 pot into the new vessels, and it flowed freely till the last vessel was filled. Where there were no more vessels, the oil stopped. In other words, as much as she could conceive and believe, she could achieve. God is a ceaseless flow of substance and possibility and can easily supply whatever the extent of the need. But there's one thing God cannot do. God cannot supply lack. This is because lack is a state of mind, and that condition cannot be remedied until the state of mind is altered. So the 1 jar of oil to the widow was her lack due to her feeling of onlyness. However, when she expanded her faith through providing additional vessels, the lack became a legitimate need, which was instantly and abundantly filled. So if you have a financial or a health problem, perhaps a great need for increased prosperity or health, where is your consciousness? Borrow additional vessels, which means raise your consciousness, widen your horizon of faith, identify yourself with optimism, with the idea you are entitled to the boundless support and healing of the universe. And really believe this. If you or any of your loved ones have been impacted by the government shutdown or have lost your SNAP benefits, your food stamps, pause any feelings of defeat. Activate greater optimism and positivity and begin to affirm, God is my instant, constant, and abundant source of supply and healing. God is my instant, constant, and abundant source of supply and healing. The universe will provide. Here's some suggestions from Chris Gentry for what he calls turbocharged affirmations. State your affirmations out loud over and over for a minimum of 10 minutes. Write your affirmations in your journal at least 100 times each. Now, these are turbocharged ones. Write your affirmations on sticky notes and place them everywhere you know that you will see them. And each time you see them, state them out loud as possible. Let me say that a different way. State them out loud as possible. Write the affirmations on a card and carry the card with you. Read the card multiple times each day while waiting in line, at a red light, during a commercial, during meditation, or quiet time on a break at work. Create a timer on your phone to remind you every hour or half hour, or even a random timer, to read your affirmations again out loud if possible. And make a commitment with a trusted friend to send each other your affirmations each day via text or email, or have a short phone call each day to repeat your affirmations to each other. Mahatma Gandhi said, keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your values. Keep your values positive because your values become your destiny. And summarizing, surrender is saying no to fear, lack, control, and ego by non-resistance, releasing and letting go and giving it up to God. Optimism is saying yes to the positive, to faith, to prosperity, to true power, to success, and to the unlimited possibilities of the universe. Doing both and persevering puts you in the flow of prosperity. So let us become eternal optimists, saying yes to our abundance. Thank you. God bless you.
I had a completely different song planned. Sometimes Spirit steps in and says, are you listening to what she's saying? You should sing this other song. So I'm going to ask if you'll join me on the chorus. We don't have the words up or anything because this is completely spontaneous, but it's pretty easy. I'll teach it to you. So the chorus goes like this. The chorus goes, if you can see it, you can be it. If you imagine it with your mind, if you believe it, you can free it. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. It take a couple times to get it, but you'll get it. So let's do it up to tempo. If you can see it, you can be it. If you imagine it with your mind, if you believe it, you can free it. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. All right, I want you to do that one more time. If you can see it, you can be it. If you imagine it with your mind, if you believe it, you can free it. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. You got it. There's nothing we can't do if we are willing to let go our limitation, trust in transformation, recognize that we are more than we will give us credit for, and open up our imagination of all creation. If you can see it, you can be it. If you imagine it with your mind, if you believe it, you can free it. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Just open up your heart. There's no better place to start. Let that love come pouring in. And then begin to see the dream you want of you clearly there in front of you. And then do all you can do and fill yourself with gratitude. If you can see it, you can be it. If you imagine it with your mind, if you believe it, you can free it. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. This world will fill your mind with fears, but don't you let them in your ears. Keep your eyes upon the prize. Spread your wings, take to the sky and fly. If you can see it, you can be it. If you imagine it with your mind, if you believe it, you can free it. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. You guys did great. Thank you.
Well, that was fun. It's I'm often impressed when the whole service has such a coherence. You know, I hadn't read Kathy's lesson today, and I didn't know about, hadn't read the daily word yet, but I knew I needed to. I was writing my script this morning, and it's, you know, I'm getting less and less surprised when what came to me in my script connected with the lesson for today, and the changing of the music and the coherence of it all is just sometimes amazing, but it's getting less amazing and more expected, you know? So anyway, and that segues right into it's time to bless our offerings. So we bless those, of course, who are able to share with their resources and monetary donations, but also for those who give of their time, you know, in service, caring for the building, helping with the service, the programs we have, caring for the children. We give thanks for everyone who blesses us online, and of course for those here in person. It is not one kind of offering, but we believe a blending of all those gifts that make us Unity North Spiritual Center. So please join me as a community together. Divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
I know you know this one. My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, and the universe says yes, yes, and the universe says yes.
All right, we have some community news here quickly. prayer chaplain, as mentioned, was Nancy Helvig. Julie Hollingsworth is our healing facilitator. So information from the healing team. They would like to know how they can better serve this community. What have you liked about the healing gatherings if you've participated? What would you like to experience in future gatherings? And then a question about, I guess these are just prompts, I guess. They're not really asking us the questions, but if you participated in the group healing, is that something that you'd like to do a few more times a year? So they'd like some ideas or suggestions or just comments, and you can put it in a box right back there by the Buddha. So feel free to let them know. And you can certainly leave your comments anonymous. So the Winter Wonderland Holiday Auction starts today at 1 o'clock and will end December 7th. So you have a few weeks here to check out the auction and make your bids. A huge thank you to everyone who dined at the Baker Square last Monday and to those who spread the word. With their generous appetites and lack of discipline at the pie counter, we surpassed our goal. Now, it set a goal of $100. Yes, very good. And we raised $153, so it was 50% more than our goal. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but every little bit helps. And these type of fundraisers incur no expense to make it happen. Well, not directly, I guess, with the government negotiating lower prices on Ozempic, we can do this every week. So I've saved the dates for November 23rd, the Thanksgiving service, November 30th for the holiday potluck. And next Sunday, please join us for the return of our in-house game show, Can You Stump the Reverend? In the place of the lesson, Reverend Kathy is going to host a Q&A, which she has done a few times a year. Everyone will be given a piece of paper when they arrive. You can write your question on it, and then they'll be collected, and then she will answer them later in the service as part of her lesson. And these too can remain anonymous. So if you're not comfortable with, asking questions out loud or having your name written on something, go ahead and do it that way, and she'll do her best to answer them. Now, these can be unity-based questions, metaphysical. It may be a spiritual question, a philosophical question, or just a personal question about something that you've wondered about, or anything like that. So there's no dumb question, as they say. If it's something that's in your mind, throw it out there, and she'll address it as best she can. So. And the people online can put their questions, as Brandy said, online, and we'll get those to Reverend Kathy as well. Okay? I believe Kathleen is here to share some information with us.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Kathleen.
I am here to say a couple of things, because I can never just say one or two little things. But anyways, I want to say thank you to all of you who signed up for bringing snacks and treats for Family Promise. The worksheets were filled. Thank you. For those of you who signed up and said you'd bring snacks and treats, hopefully you brought them with you today, because I need to bring them to them tomorrow. And then I thought, I've talked about what Family Promise has been building for a while here, and I thought I'd share with you this really awesome, cool video. Who, some of you, if you got the newsletter, could have gotten a sneak preview of it. But I'd like to see what Family Promise has begun, and it is so exciting to see. It's just a quick video. Go ahead, Brandy. Oh, Chris has got it. 8 units are being built. When they're ready to move out. Excuse me. When they are ready to move out, and we feel that they are on a good landing, they will be moving on to wherever their house that they have found. Not at this moment, because we have no clue. Housing market right now, if you've been out there looking and trying to rent anything, it's horrid. So, yeah, there is no expectation at this moment, but, and the units vary between, like, for family sizes. There's a huge one for up to, I think we can get 6 in one. But, yeah. There's 8 different units. There's a community center in there. And for those of you who've been with Family Promise since the beginning, and I know there's a few of us here, this is something that it was like a pipe dream 15 years ago. That, like, wouldn't it be cool if we could find a building and have these people in a home, in a house or an apartment complex, and not always have to move week after week after week, moving and living in a new space every single week. We've done it. We're doing it. Yes. Expectation or the plan is early to mid summer that we'll be able to move our first family in. They've enclosed the entire building now, so all the work left to do is the indoors. So it's cool. And I get to see it every single week, and I'm amazed at how different it changes every single week. Now I won't get to see the differences because it'll all be on the inside, and I don't get to go inside yet. Soon. So, but thank you all for your Family Promise support. I appreciate it. For those of you who brought things, and if you brought them in the basket, thank you for letting me know. If I don't know where it's at, please come see me. Thanks.
Very good. Please join me in the community affirmation. Centered in prayerful intention, we give thanks for an overflowing abundance of spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members and children for Unity North Spiritual Center.
All right. Thank you, Howard. Let's give him a hand. And we want to thank Martha and Brandy and Chris for their help today. And a special thank you to Bill Mann. Wonderful music today. Thank you. And now I invite you to stand as we speak our prayer for protection. You have to do it by memory. See how well you remember it. Together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. I guess I was the only one who had to do it by memory. All right. So now we'll sing our peace song. right. I want to say hi to our virtual people.